Good morning and welcome to Unity North Tampa. My name is Reverend Cynthia Alice Anderson and I am the senior minister here. This is a bit unusual today in that I am welcoming you from my home office in Orlando, Florida. I'm doing this because I'm home healing from COVID-19 and I do take your safety seriously, and all of us as a spiritual community, of course, in our world at such a time. I chose to stay home to heal, yes, but to protect all of you as well. And I want to encourage you, if you feel you may be sick at all, to please stay home and take good care, and also to protect those around you. So welcome to Unity North Tampa. I'm happy you're here. I'm always glad to welcome you into our community. As a matter of fact, it is always my joy, honor, and pleasure to welcome you. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. Blessings on the journey, dear friend. I hope to see you in person very soon. And thank you for your prayers. Many blessings. Good morning, Unity North Tampa, and welcome to my living room. I am here recording this morning. Again, I am still healing. I'm sure you can hear in my voice. I'm not quite back to normal yet. And excited about bringing the message today on one of my favorite topics. It is another prosperity topic called unexpected income. I'm also super excited because I had an awareness today about how instrumental this program has been in my own journey. So probably 30 years ago, when I was in ministerial school and working at a Unity church in Overland Park, Kansas, I first heard of unexpected income. Our minister had given us this sheet of paper about saying these affirmations. I say yes to unexpected income. And the idea was that he was asking us, would we be willing to tithe on anything we received that was unexpected? Well, of course, for me, this was a simple yes, because I was in school at the time. I was working full time, but I'd taken a slight pay cut because I couldn't work quite as many hours as I had in the past. So anything that was to do with finances at that time was really getting my attention. I also had an increase in bills because I was in school. So not only was I paying for a place to live, not only was I paying for school, but, like everybody else, I had bills, I had groceries to buy and things of that nature. So when our minister talked about unexpected income, I thought, well, sign me up. I could use that right now. The idea is that so many people were not really ready to tithe 10%. And so the minister said, well, would you be willing to tithe on unexpected income? So for my journey, though, I was already tithing. I was doing a lot of forgiveness work because I was in school. I was saturated with Unity teachings. So the idea of being open to unexpected income, was not a stretch at all. As a matter of fact, I welcomed it. And what I know from my conversations with so many recently is the price of groceries has gone up, gas has gone up, and so unexpected income sounds like a wonderful idea for all of us again. So what we want to remember, number one, is God's will for me is good. I want you to say that with me. God's will for me is good. God's will for me is good. Yes. I want to remember that. When I was sick this last week, I had to remind myself, nope, God's will for me is good, right? So sometimes we have to remind ourselves, God's will for me is good. So if God's will for me is good, there must be a way then to bring that good into my life and into the world. And today is about bringing a more income into our lives, right? That brings ease, that brings joy, and that helps us be able to be a blessing to others, right? It's more easy to give when we have more coming in. Thank you, God. We're so grateful. So unexpected income is a commitment really that you make between you and God. And the church today is going to give you a piece of paper very much like one I received 30 years ago. I saved that paper. I've used it for many years. I've changed the wording slightly, and we've made it especially for Unity North Tampa today. So you will get that. And I want to assure you that that piece of paper is for you. There's a place for me to sign it. And when I get back, I'll be happy to sign it for you. But the church doesn't hold on to those. You do, because there are a bunch of statements on there for you to say every single day in your spiritual practice. What we know is that the thoughts we hold the most are the things that we begin to manifest. So I want to tell you a little story about how my increase began with this program and now where I am today. So when I first heard of it, I told you I was in school, and as I shared several weeks ago, um, I was doing my affirmations on the way, from home to school to work. So I was doing a lot of prosperity work and consciousness already. And when I arrived to school one day after doing, all of those affirmations, I got to my desk, and our desk were these really long tables, and there were all these packets of seeds, like for the garden, a packet of seeds, and on the back of the seeds was money, and it said on there, seed money. I thought, who did that? That was pretty awesome. So I got the idea that my seed money was going to be an account. It just like came through right then. I need to start an account with this money. Well, when I looked at the money, it was only $10, and I was thrilled with the $10, but I realized I don't think you can start a bank account with $10. So I said, well, I thought this was a divine idea. So we'll see what happens. So the day went on, and I went home to check my mail, and I got another check from a church for 120, and that was from a church called Unity of Anderson. So I said, okay, Spirit's really working with me here. Spirit's really, really working with me here. So what is going on? I then went over to work, and there was another check from another church, um, that was a tithe for something I'd done like 2 years ago. And then later in the week, I found out that the very church that had cut my salary slightly because I went into school, I also found out that now they were going to be tithing to me as well, over 500 more a month. So in a very short amount of time, just a few days time, I went from making less money and being concerned about bills to having an abundance of finances and actually making more than I had, before my pay cut. So what was also so amazing is those were financial gifts. They weren't really considered income, and uh, that was a real gift. So that original idea of starting, an account with that $10, at the end of that first week, I was able to do. So every time I got extra income, I would put it in the account, I would tithe on it, and I would always give thanks. I mean, I think that week I must have praised God a full 15 minutes every time I got one of those checks. And uh, that account actually served as the account to pay for all of my ministerial school. So during that time, because I think I mentioned I had just started ministerial school when I started this unexpected income program. During ministerial school, when on paper less money was coming in and more was going out, um, with the addition of all those funds of tithes and all of those various things, what happened over the course of that first year is I took in over $22,000 over and above what I expected. I was able to pay off all my debt. I was able to give away a car, to buy a car, and to live debt free. So this for me was a huge demonstration. Not only that, but that account served to pay all of my needs related to school and anything I needed for my ministry, education, and program. Now, what my realization was in the last 24 hours about that account, that I've realized even though I've moved and changed banks, that account has always had some form. Uh, uh, it's always remained in some form, and that unexpected income account is basically what has become my charitable organization that enables me to have an online ministry that I reach the world with every month. In other words, I'm in over 80 countries. We're probably at over 200,000 downloads by now for the podcast. And, we're reaching on average way over 5,000 people a month. And that started like as a little idea 30 years ago with $10. So what was definitely seed money really has prospered in a way I could not have totally imagined. But it did so because of me following spiritual principle around the money. So let's talk about that. Let's look at Luke chapter 6. And this is my original Bible I've used. I say my original Bible. It was the Bible my parents gave me when I was in fifth grade. I can't believe I still have it. It's from Luke 6, verse 38, which is one of my favorite. It basically says, "Give and it will be given to you, heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be put in your lap. For the measure you give, it will be measured to you." So what we know is that anytime we give, right, we create a space to receive. Well, what I learned is that in studying unity and New Thought principles is that the universe abhors a vacuum. This is a statement made by Charles Fillmore, by Unity's co-founder Charles Fillmore, also by Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, and also Ralph Waldo Emerson, the founder, the father of transcendentalism. The universe abhors a vacuum. What does this mean? It means that the universe cannot stand the space. It always fills it. It always fills it. For instance, when you go to the beach and you dig up sand, have you ever noticed what happens? Water and sand fill that hole almost immediately, right? Have you noticed when you go out and work in the garden and you pull all these weeds, 3 or 4 days later, what's there? More weeds, right? So when there's a space, something moves in to fill it. So what I've learned is that when we make a space with spiritual intention, this becomes a very, very powerful thing to do. So part of my work, I realized as I was reflecting on my own process, that work I did with really listening to spirit, like what was I supposed to do with that $10? Um, that that meant the world to me to receive that at that time. It's like, okay, how do I honor this gift? It's like, well, what if I could create a place? What if I could create a special, like, unexpected income account? What if I could create a place for the money to go and use it for a holy purpose? So what I've learned that when I'm, affirming, I say yes to unexpected income, as you'll be doing over the next few days and weeks as you choose, that I have a holy use in mind for the money. So in my case, when I was in school, I knew that the money was going to be used to further my ministry, and it's always done that. So I've had people ask me though over the years, well, what's a holy use for my money? I said, well, providing for your family's needs is a wonderful holy use for your money. Providing, you know, providing food for your family to eat is a holy use for your money. But just to amass more stuff, I'm not sure that's a holy use for the money. That's between you and God. So what I know is that when my intentions are good and holy, the universe answers with a yes, a strong yes. So the work then is to commit to creating this space to receive this unexpected income. So in your work, you may not be ready to open an account, but I've had many people say, well, I just took a physical envelope and wrote on there, unexpected income. And every time I got money, I would put it in there. I would tithe out of that. They created like a cash envelope. And I've had many people tell me they have gone to the bank and opened accounts, and sure enough, as they created a space, unexpected income began arriving regularly. So, friends, what we want to practice, what we want to experience, is that we are powerful co creators, and that as we create a vacuum, right, the universe will rush in to fill it. So, every time you receive unexpected income, part of the agreement is tithing to your place of spiritual food. So, this is a wonderful, wonderful practice, and it brings a lot of joy. So, the key is going to be to keep your thoughts to the raised at the level of being willing to expect the unexpected. In other words, trusting that the universe loves you, that God's will for you is good, and that more is available to you. So sometimes, if I was feeling a little iffy about the whole unexpected income idea, I would just bring into my mind, I expect the unexpected. I expect the unexpected. In other words, I am going to receive a blessing. I accept it. I receive it. I say yes to it. I'm going to align my mind, align my thoughts to get ready to receive all the good God has for me. I expect the unexpected. God is my source. God's will for me is good. I say yes to unexpected income. So this is my hope for you, friends. As you believe that God's will for you is good, that as you give, right, that it shall be given to you, heaped up, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I say yes to unexpected income. So in addition to remembering the universe abhors a vacuum, in addition to remembering God's will for you is good, remember to have holy use for the money that is coming in. In other words, set your spiritual intention about what you are going to do with that money. I remember one of our dear members, when I was just coming to Unity North Tampa, was putting their house up for sale. And one of the things she said was, I cannot wait to tithe to Unity North Tampa. How sweet is that? She said, I cannot wait to tithe to Unity North Tampa. That meant the world to me, because she's received so much from the church and she's given so much to the church already. What a blessing. What a blessing. So as we tithe, it's like we're saying to the universe, to God, thank you. Because the scriptures tell us every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father of lights. In other words, all good things we have are from God anyway. Right? So, and then I love to give thanks. I love to say, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. I love to stay in the flow by giving thanks. So, the first three steps, really, in the unexpected income process, we've talked about today. And number one is to remember the universe abhors a vacuum. Anytime we create a space, the universe is going to fill it. So as you make a space to receive, whether it's by writing on an envelope unexpected income, by opening an account, or simply by like opening your mind to, I'm ready to receive, I want you to know that's a very important step. As you begin to receive, remember to tithe to your place of spiritual food. Also, remember to stay in integrity with that holy use you have for the money. And then finally, to give thanks. Now, having said that, there are four more steps that we are going to go into in class tomorrow evening, and I look forward to sharing that with as many of you as possible. The class is at most an hour, but I want to be able to talk through some of these things and hear you share your stories, as well as giving us new ways to experience all the good God has for us. Dear friends, it is fun to feel in the flow. It's fun to have an intimate relationship with all that is. and to remember together God's will for us is good. So, will you say with me, I say yes to unexpected income? Together, I say yes to unexpected income. So, thank you for joining me today, dear friend. I hope to see you in person very soon, and I'll see you in class, I hope, tomorrow night. Many blessings.